The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
TGIF, thank God it's Friday, and here we are once again, another Friday it is, and everybody's gathered around the breakfast table or wherever you may congregate. A lot of you guys may be at work right now. We thank you so much for being along with us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. We're here every Friday at this time because we bring you great conversation, and we want you to get involved in the show. And of course, all of you people who are around all of these years, we thank you so much for being along with us and putting up with us for all of these years, and you're faithful followers. But we want you to keep spreading the word and tell everyone about the show so they can be involved in the show too. And for all of you people who may be new, well, let me show you how the show operates. We start this show off right now. I am what they call into the prep mode and get started. What I do is getting preparations going. And while I'm doing that, you can take the opportunity right now to tag your friends. All right. You can tell your friends about it. Right. And by the way, if you have anything particular to say, you have a keyboard on your phone, on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, even on your tablet. All you have to do is type in whatever you want to talk about. I'll see you right there on the big screen. I'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because we do have them, all of us together. Thoughts and ideas and of opinions, because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions. So why don't we get together and share them all, right? We want you to know, too, that we're on two different platforms, live on two different platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're on Facebook as well. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter. And while you're there, we want you to take the time out to tell all of your friends about it. You can even tag them. And that's the language of Facebook. They always say we want to tag our friends, all right? You know what that really means? It's really cutting and pasting the platform that you're watching us on now. And same thing goes for you too if you're watching us on YouTube. Just cut and paste that platform, which is called the link. Cut and paste that and send it out to as many friends as possible. We would love that because the more, the merrier. The more we can get in here, the greater it will be, and everybody can enjoy in conversation. And not only can they talk to you, when they see you, they can talk to me and talk to others who are in the room as well. So get that, get ready, get your fingers ready, let them do the walking on the keyboard, and let's get started. So a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. We are here on this Friday morning, and it's the 23rd of April. And we've got a lot of things to talk about. Later on in the program, we've got Brian Camp coming along. As a matter of fact, he's here right now. Brian Camp, with the latest developments of today's world of sports. There he is right there. You can see him right there. How long are you going to be with us today, Brian?
I'm going to be with you for at least 45 minutes. Then I'm going to go away for 5 minutes, but I'm going to come back for the final 10 minutes. Is that fair enough?
Okay, that sounds good. You're going to take a little 5-minute break, all right? I don't even get that kind of a break, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, I gotta take a call and I gotta do something here at the school. So it'd be like a quick 5 minutes away, and then I'm going to come back to you for the final 10 minutes as well.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, but everybody that's joining us right now, Brian is here with us. He's got the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, as well as conversation with us. And you can join the conversation with both of us together, and we'll talk about a lot of things. And anything that you want to talk about, it doesn't matter. You know, you bring up the subject too, because you help make this show. So if you have a particular subject that you want to elaborate on, please do that. And we'll be glad to talk about it because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Now we've got, we're going to keep this show rolling, right? How's it going out there weather-wise in Charlotte, North Carolina? Because that's where Brian is coming from.
I'm coming from the Queen City of North Carolina, of Charlotte, North Carolina. And let me turn down this here thing. I don't want nobody to hear us walkie talkie. It is 71 degrees, going up to 84, sunny. I'm going to have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to make it a fantastic weekend. I'm going to see the Michael Jackson movie that's coming up. We'll talk about that later. And it's just it's a good day today. Any day is a good day when you get up and you can breathe, you can move the activities of your limbs to see another day. Doesn't it could be a rainy day, it could be a snowy day, but as long as you get up, it's a good day. Always
Mm,
remember that.
sounds good. And I just want to remind the audience that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the coffee hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So, hey, by the way, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So while Brian elaborates on more of what his weekend is going to be about, I'm going to shoot up for a little bit.
While you shoot up, yeah, I'm going to have a weekend of what of going to the movies. I'm going to play a little PlayStation 5. Yes, 64 years old, going on 64 years old. I still play PlayStation. I'm going to enjoy myself. Going to watch a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Go to the movies. I'm going to come up with a new recipe. I'm going to try to cook some stuffed salmon. Stuffed salmon. I'm going to try that. I don't know if I'm going to put it in the oven or am I going to smoke it. I have to see how things go. But yes, that's my weekend.
I want to say good morning to Mary Reed's watching us on YouTube this morning. And she just want to greet us all a good morning. So good morning to you, Mary. Good
Good
morning to
morning,
you.
Mary.
She's out of Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York. You can't beat Brooklyn. You can't beat Brooklyn. No matter where you go, where you roam, where you live, or where you move, it doesn't matter because if you were born in Brooklyn, once Brooklyn, always Brooklyn.
That's right.
And I'm a proud Brooklyn boy. I live in Manhattan now, but I'm a proud Brooklyn boy. No matter where I roam, I'm Brooklyn. People ask me, where you from? I'm from Brooklyn. I'm
That's
from
right.
Brooklyn. And if I have to use the accents, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. What are you? You got a problem with that? I'm from Brooklyn.
That's right. That's right.
Uh, uh, anyway, Mary says, she says to you, she says, yes, Brian, as long as you wake up and see another day, it's a good day. And that
It's a
sounds,
blessing. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. So all of the things that Mary say or anyone here on YouTube happen to say anything, I'm going to pass it along to you. And the same thing with Facebook because you're in another location, so you're not even reading Facebook, right? I mean, yeah, Facebook. You're not monitoring Facebook, right? You don't
No,
see anything.
just on Zoom today. Just
Yeah,
on
okay.
Zoom.
So whatever, if anyone has anything to say to you, I'll pass it along because I see everyone out there. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join in the conversation, feel free. And even if it's just to say hi, that's okay too. Now, a lot of people, especially if you're new, you may not want to indulge in conversation. What you may want to do is just watch the show. And we do see you when you come in, but we will not acknowledge you unless you say something first out of respect to you, because we want to make sure that we respect your privacy. But that's we would like you at some point to conversate with us. And if you feel like this is not the day to do it, then fine, just as long as you're out there. And if you can't stay the whole full hour, whatever time you could spend with us would be really appreciative. So there we go.
Or or you could just have the emoji wave. You could just wave and just say hi. That's all.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna bite you. We're not
No,
gonna
not at
bite you.
all. Is that a little squeezy you have in your hand?
It's a it's a squeegee ball. Yeah, it's something that
Is
would
that
keep
is that a globe? I have one of those.
world's best. It says world best teacher, which is not me,
Oh,
of
okay.
course. But
Yeah, I don't have.
it's a spongy ball. Yeah, it's a spongy ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a globe though. I have a globe, but it doesn't have any writing on it. I have exactly one of those things. I did,
Uh-huh.
something. Those things are they back because they played out.
Um, I don't know. I just took it off one of the teacher's desks and just took it for my pleasure. Um,
Uh,
I might give it back, then I might not. Might keep it for the weekend. I'll give it back eventually.
I have a few of them. I have a few of them. I have a football shaped one. I have a one like the one that you're holding, I have one that's shaped up like a brain, uh,
Mhm.
and I have a heart. And those things are good. You know,
Yeah.
they relieve a little stress when you squeeze it.
Yes,
You know,
exactly. You're absolutely right. Yes, stress. Wow.
and so yeah, so they're very good. But they used to be a big thing. I don't see people use them anymore, but they should bring them all back. They should make more and bring them back. You know, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Okay, here we are in the month of April, and next week when we come back on this show, we'll be on a brand new month. It'll be the first day of a brand new month, the first day of May, which they say April showers bring May flowers. We've seen a lot of showers here in New York. I know that, which reminds me that those of you who are going to conversate with us, give us your weather forecast out there and let us know what your weather is. It doesn't have to be a full blown weather forecast. It could be like an emoji, you know, a sunny emoji, a rainy emoji, a cloudy emoji, and just give us your temperatures. That's good enough for us. That'll give us an idea because we like to try to compare notes on what your weather is wherever you are and what our weather here is in Charlotte and of course in here in New York City. But if you're living in New York, don't worry about it. I will take care of all of that for you. I'll take care of the local stuff in New York that's coming right up. And as I said, this is going to be the last day we talk about what's happening all this month, and we're celebrating Scottish American Heritage Month for the time being. So if you're from Scotland or if you're Scottish American and you want to talk about your heritage, or maybe you have some kind of event in the Scottish community where you are, uh, you want to talk about that or promote it, we're here to help you. We want to celebrate with you. Even if you're not from Scotland and you live in Scotland, we broadcast over there too. Okay, we broadcast over there. It's National Alcohol Awareness Month, and I'm going to give you the hotline for the helpline for the Drug and Alcohol Rehab and Detox Center, which is 866-584-7022. That's 866-584-7022. Parkinson's Awareness Month as well. You may have family, friends, or someone that you know that need help in that department or need a number. I have that for you too. The number is 800-551-1300. That's 800-551-1300. Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Also, we're elaborating on that too. You need any help with that, or you know friends or someone, a loved one, friends or anyone that need help or need information, I'm going to direct you to this number, which is 800-942-6906. That's 800-942-6906. Also, the National Autism Awareness Month. And I'm going to give you that number. The Autism Society helpline is 800-328-8476. That's 800-328-8476. And that covers all of that. And finally, here's what we got. You can't make this up. If any of you guys are at work right now, I don't know, Brian, are you taking your sons and daughters to work with you? They're older now, so you don't. They're not kids anymore.
No, they're on their own.
Yeah.
I brought my granddaughter with me a couple of times already this year and in the past.
Yeah.
In fact, she had to bring my bike to the job because my car battery had died, and
Yeah.
so she was nice enough to have a couple of her friends to walk her to the school with my bike, and I rode my bike home, and she walked back home with her and her friends. So, so she was here. She was greeted. They remember her. They loved her. They saying, "Oh, you have a beautiful granddaughter," and so on and so on. So yes, I've taken her to the job plenty of times.
Well, the reason why I brought that up because it's National Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day. It's
Oh,
the day. So I don't know if you knew about that.
no.
Maybe she would have loved to come to see you in action. A lot of people bring their sons and daughters to work because they want to see uh, their mothers and their fathers at action and what they do at work. That's one of the things, and I think that's a good thing too because when they're that young, you can kind of teach them what it's like to go to work, wake up in the morning, and go to work and what you do, and then they may get ideas with that little visit to your job. Or yeah, that sounds like a cool thing to do. I think I might want to do that when I grow up.
Excellent
It's
point. You know why it's an excellent point? I'm glad you did bring that up. My youngest son, my middle child, he used to want to come to work with me every Saturday when I first started the job. Since then I retired. So I
mm-hmm,
used to, as you know, I used to drive a bus,
mm-hmm,
operate a bus. So he followed in my footsteps. He's working for the New York City transit system. He just completed 10 years, going on his 11th year as a subway conductor. So
mm,
he followed into my footsteps in being a transit worker. He loves the job, and so when it's like when I used to bring him to work with me, then when I come into New York, he invites me to come to his job. So sometimes is bring your father to work day as well too, or your parents. So
mm-hmm.
I was able to be blessed to have it both ways, where I used to bring him to work with me. Now he brings me to work so I can meet some of his colleagues and coworkers.
You see, you pass on tradition like that. That's good. And you followed in your father's footsteps. Your father worked in transit, didn't he?
That's right. We got three generations of transit workers. My father was a track worker. I was a bus
Wow.
operator, and my youngest son is a subway conductor. So
Mhm.
yes, it runs through our veins.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, I was fascinated with the subway trains. Back in those days, it was fun to ride the subways as opposed to today, but it was
Mhm.
fun to ride the subways. I used to ride the subways just for the heck of it. I had my little 15-cent subway fare. That's what it was back in those days, 15 cents. And we bought tokens. We had tokens. They don't have what they have today. They had the Metro card. Now they don't have the Metro cards anymore. I mean, they're still there, but they're kind of like phasing out now. They have what they call the Omni card. But I used to
Mhm.
throw my 15 cents in, go to the token booth, buy a token, and the tokens were like that small at the time. They were
Yeah,
that small. They were that tiny at the time. And I would go on Saturdays, I would go ride the subways
that's
back and
right.
forth, up and down, up and down.
Right.
And because I used to love to ride the trains back then, and that fascinated me, and that motivated me because I wanted to actually be back in those days, they call it a motorman. I wanted to be a
Right.
motorman.
Now they call them train operators because
That's right.
it covers men and women now.
That's right. That's right. And the same thing with the bus operators. I used to call them bus drivers. We call them operators now. Everybody's operating. There's not no
Yes.
such thing as bus driver or train driver. But
Well,
yeah,
we changed that. Well, see, we changed that bus driver to bus operators because we always said anybody could drive a car or a
mhm,
vehicle, but
mhm.
everybody cannot operate a
Operate.
certain
Yeah,
bus or vehicle. Big difference between
yeah.
a driver and an operator.
I remember there was an old lady on the bus one day, and she was trying to communicate with the operator. And she said, "Driver, bus driver." And I said, "Miss," I said, "maybe you should try the word operator because I said, because if you don't, he may get angry."
That's right.
But she didn't understand that. But but he was a nice operator anyway. He responded and whatever, you know. But that's how it was back in those days. The great these back in the 50s and the 60s, I used to ride those old dusty cars, those dusty trains, you know.
No AC, just a fan that just twirl around.
But it was fun back in those days. The fun is just gone. Of course, I'm not going to wake up on a Saturday and ride the trains today. There's no way. As a matter of fact, I in all costs, I try to avoid riding the subway. You know, not taking anything from the subways or anything like that, but I just rather ride a bus than to ride a subway car.
I used to love to ride the L train because it was so hot in the summertime. You wanted
Yeah,
to, we pulled down the windows, had to push the clamps down, to pull down the windows, and if you be in the right spot,
yeah,
from First Avenue to Bedford Avenue, which is a long
yeah,
strip because you're going through the tunnel from Manhattan to Brooklyn, you get
yeah.
that nice wind, and it was just hit you so hard. It was like that was our AC back then. It was a
Are you
fan.
talking about in the front car? In the front
Yes,
car?
in the
Yes,
front car.
I used to love to do that. You had
Yep,
the window, you had the clamps on the side, you pull the window down.
that's it.
some of the cars were so old that the windows were stuck. But if you were fortunate to ride in the front, and I used to always do that.
Yep,
Yeah, as soon as I got there, I just pulled that window down, and that wind would hit you, nice and cool in hot weather. You're right, nice and cool. That was fun.
that was fun. Good
That
old
was
days.
fun. Oh, all the days are over, and then you were able to see the motorman. The motorman, there was a on the motorman's cab. On the side of his cab, there was a little long glass strip, and you could look inside and watch him work. You know,
That's right. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, the kids today missed out on a lot of fun in that department.
sure did. That's right.
Well, anyway, here we are. And we're right on time. It's 20 minutes past the hour right now, which means it's time for sports. So we'll go to Brian with sports update.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the globe, wherever you're located at. And like I said, it's 71 degrees going up to 84 degrees here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hopefully everybody's doing well on a Friday or a Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, wherever you may be. It's Friday. We're going to start our weekend. Well, in the NFL, they had the draft. The NFL draft began on yesterday, is going to go through Saturday in Pittsburgh. Now they're expecting some bad weather in Pittsburgh over the weekend, where they was thinking about they're not sure whether they're going to continue with the draft. I don't know how bad it could be, but right now it's still on. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Started yesterday at 8 p.m. on ABC, NFL Network, and ESPN. Fernando Mendoza was drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders as the number one overall pick from the Indiana University Hoosiers. He chose to stay with his family when being called as the number one pick. He wanted to share the moment with his family instead of being present in um, Pittsburgh. So he said he wanted to be with his mother and his family. It's the only right thing to do. I'm happy for him. Super Bowl 61 will be played on February 14th, Valentine's Day of 2027 at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The 2027 Super Bowl will be aired on ESPN with a simulcast on ABC. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will call their seventh Super Bowl together. In the NBA, we're in the middle of playoffs time. The playoffs are here. We had some exciting games yesterday and last night. The Knicks lost their game. It was game three. The Hawks lead that series 2-1, and the Toronto Raptors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers to draw closer to their series. They're still down 2-1 as they beat the Cavaliers. And also, we also had the Minnesota Timberwolves, knocked off the Denver Nuggets, and then they're up 2-1. We got some games coming up this weekend. We got the Celtics and the Sixers, and check your other local listings for other games in your area. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver reaffirmed the league commitment to Memphis in comments on Wednesday, but added that he liked to see the Grizzlies, that's where they play at in Memphis, the Memphis Grizzlies, play occasional games in Nashville in an effort to widen the team's fan base. Now, there's been talk by athletes who don't like to play in the city of Memphis. They have a very high crime rate up there. LeBron James even made a comments on a podcast not liking to visit Memphis, and for games and suggested teams should be moved to Nashville. Well, LeBron James, you're not the owner. You're still a player. You should mind your business. And if the owner of the Grizzlies want to move this team to Nashville, then he will do it. We understand that you're looking out for the interests of everybody, but this is something that you should not be talking about because you're still playing ball. Now, if you was a fellow owner, then that'd be something different, but you're still a player. So we know that you have impact on what you say and do. Now, the Grizzlies have held training camp in Nashville the past 2 years, but never played a regular season game there. So hopefully the owners will probably pick that up. And Major League Baseball, as you know, the Mets broke their 12-game losing streak the other day. They was headed for rock bottom, and but they won their game in the New York area. I know New York fans are either a Yankee fan or you're a Met fan. Very rarely do you see anybody want to like both teams. It's either you like the team from the Bronx, or you like the Queen, or else you like the team from the Queens. So it's either or. You can't choose both. That's how it is. It's like mixing bleach and ammonia together. Doesn't mix. So on this day, April 24th, 1901, the first game in the American League, Chicago White Sox Stockings win 8-2 over the Cleveland Blues. 1946, 11 players is named to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Turn my page over here, son. 1956, American League umpire Frank Umar is the first to wear glasses in a regular season game. For years, umpires would couldn't see balls and strikes, and they would get on them. And you fans, I'd be at baseball games at a live game, and a fan would shout out to the umpire, "Put on your glasses, you can't see." Blankety blank 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 blank. Those are true fans of. They were New York fans, of course. Only New York fans could say stuff like that. 1962, Sandy Koufax, second career 18 strikeout game and a 10-2 victory over the Chicago Cubs. 1963, Bob Cousy plays his last NBA game in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and as they won. 1974, the NFL grants a franchise to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1978, Nolan Ryan strikes out 15 Mariners for the 20th time with 15 strikeouts. 1981, San Antonio blocks 20 Golden State Warriors shots to set an NBA regular season record. 1992, George Steinbrenner drops his suit against Major League Baseball. Yeah, George Steinbrenner. He was really something back in those days. Birthdays on this day, 1952, Pat Zachary, Major League Baseball pitcher, 1976 Rookie of the Year and World Series winner for the Cincinnati Reds, was born in Richmond, Texas. 1954, Vince Ferragamo, NFL quarterback for the Rams, was born in Torrance, California. 1967, Omar Vizquel, Major League Baseball shortstop, was born in Caracas, Venezuela. 1972, Chipper Jones, Major League Baseball infielder, Hall of Famer, 8-time All-Star, 1999 MVP, National League MVP, was born in DeLand, Florida. And 1973, happy birthday, Eric Snow, NBA guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, was born in Canton, Ohio. So each week we always try to have something new for genders of ethnic backgrounds, and we had something last month that was nice, with the women and everything. Well, we're celebrating Scotland, people from Scotland. Last week we spoke about Sean Connery, Mr. 007 himself, James Bond. We're going to talk about Andy Murray. Now, Andy Murray was born May 15th, the birthday's coming up, 1987 in Glasgow, Scotland. Is a Scottish tennis player who was one of the sport's premier players during the 2010s, I'm sorry, winning 3 Grand Slam titles and 2 men's singles Olympic gold medals. Though clearly blessed with an unusual talent from an early age with speed, power, and a light touch, Murray often battled himself as much as his opponent on court. His childhood was scarred by tragedy in 1996 when a gunman shot 70 people in Dublin, Scotland. It was a primary school where he was a student there. Murray survived the massacre by hiding in a classroom and thereafter really talked about it. Something like that will scar you for life. Guided by his mother, a professional tennis coach, he left Scotland as a teenager to further his tennis education in Spain, where he learned to play on clay and to fend for himself. You hear 1 Grand Slam titles. Murray won his first significant title, the Junior U.S. Open in 2004, but his route to the top, like many of his matches, was not straightforward, having cracked the top 10 in the world in April 2007 and the top 4 two 2 years later. He could not break the stranglehold on the Grand Slam titles, which was eluding him, exerted by the big three players at that time: Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic. Murray lost four Grand Slam titles in 2008 and 2012, often badly and sometimes ungraciously. At the start of 2012, he tapped former Czech star Ivan Lendl, an eight-time Grand Slam champion, to serve as his coach, and the partnership proved fruitfully for Murray. The inscrutable Lendl, who had lost his first four Grand um, Slam titles, taught Murray better self-control. And who's better than Ivan Lendl? Ivan Lendl had a temper on him as well. He was moody, he was grouchy, but when you want somebody to not do what you did, you want to be a better um, ambassador to the sport and a better friend. So he took him on his wing. Um, Murray's breakthrough came in 2012 when he at last um, outlast Federer in the Wimbledon Center Court to win the men's singles gold medal at the London Olympic Games, a victory that erased his tearful defeat by the same. Opponents in Wimbledon, which is the one of the grandest Grand Slam tennis tournaments of the year, final on the same court for the month before. Barely a month later, at the U.S. Open, he claimed his first Grand Slam title after a hard-fought final against Djokovic. Murray struggled in 2017 largely because of his hip injury. In 2008, Murray had surgery that severely limited his play, and shortly before the Australia Open in January 2019, he was thinking about retirement that year. Over the next several years, he struggled to regain his form, and his Grand Slam titles were the U.S. Open 2012, and he won Wimbledon title twice in 2013 and 2016. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports and a history of people from Scotland.
And you heard it first right here on the Coffee Hour, where we give you as much information as we can in sports and all kinds of information. Of course, you help out as well by joining in the conversation, and a lot of things that we may not know or may not cover, you can help us out with that. That's the purpose of the show, to get things going. Anyway, we before we got off the air last night on Talk Back Live, I was trying to keep in touch with the Yankee game while I'm on here at the same time, which is it's a hard thing to do because I want to concentrate on the show. But the Yankees did win. The Yankees did win. The final score was 4-2, and they had their fifth straight win. So I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
And they're 16 and 9 on the year so far. I'm happy.
Yeah, they're doing well. That division is up for grabs because a lot of teams are not going to run away with it. The Red Sox is having the most difficult time right now, but the season is still early. There's only been 25 games played,
Yeah.
so it's still early. The Red Sox has gotten off to a terrible start. Like I said,
Yeah.
the Mets just broke their 12-game losing streak. So
Mhm.
hopefully that they'll pick up to make things happen. You want the Mets and the Yankees to do well so you can make the whole city of New York electrifying again, as always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, uh, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the Yankees, I don't know. I'm just gonna hold on to the moment. Like you say, the season is young right now, so I'm just gonna hold on to the moment. They started very good. They started to fall apart. And now they're gaining a little momentum. Now, they're gaining a little traction. So I'm happy to hear about that. We got to get your Giants out of that place, out of that toilet.
Well, the Giants won the first two games against the hated Dodgers. They're crosstown rivals.
Mhm.
They've been rivals since both teams were playing in New York. The Dodgers used to play in Brooklyn, as you know, and the Giants used to play up in Manhattan in the Polo Grounds. They
Mhm.
got off to a very tough start so far this season, but they took the first two games away from the Dodgers by beating them, but lost the third game. So now they're gonna. I think they go on the road now. They gotta go to Miami to play the Marlins and then
Yeah,
Philadelphia. So
yeah,
maybe we could turn it around. The season's still early. You
yeah,
know, I like the things that they're doing in the off season. Because now it's
yeah,
just a matter of time just putting it together.
yeah. And we take off for Houston. We're going to play Houston for the weekend. So there's a lot of baseball, a lot of sports to be seen over the weekend, and I frankly look forward to that. I was watching the some of the games as much as I could with the Dodgers and the Giants. I know when I was watching them, I said I don't think Brian likes this game at all. Even if the Giants win, he doesn't want anything to do with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No, I don't. I know. We can't like the Dodgers. It's
and
those are rivalries. Yeah.
and uh, oh, what's his name? Otani, Shohei,
Sho, Shohei Ohtani.
Otani, yeah, was pitching a game. Hey, here's a guy that don't get to do. A lot of people don't get to do the things that he do. He
Oh,
pitches and he hits. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a pitcher and a regular player on a team since Rocky Colavito, because Rocky Colavito used to play outfield and he was a pitcher too. Rocky Colavito played for the Yankees a small time. You know.
now I never knew that. I never knew that. I'm glad you brought that up. I never knew that Rocky Colavito was doing that. Now,
Mhm.
as for Otani, he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And I know some of you Babe Ruth fans are going to get angry with me, but the things that Otani could do, I don't think Babe Ruth could do. Babe Ruth was a pitcher too, as well. Yes, he was a pitcher, a very good pitcher, but that was
Yeah.
during the year of before 1947. I got to bring that up because that's when baseball was segregated. Now
Hmm.
that baseball is not segregated, you got blacks, you got people of color, you got Latinos, you got Asians, are all playing baseball now. The talent is much better now. So Otani is more gifted. He's facing better competition than Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, to his credit, saved Major League Baseball, and during his era, he dominated. He out home run a lot of the teams back then. But Otani, you
Well,
can't you can't tell like the Babe Ruth fans.
a lot of these players today are breaking records like Babe Ruth, and they're doing it frequently now more than they did before because the players get better and better. They get healthier and healthier. I don't, I don't know what they put in the food. They must be putting something in the food because these younger players are playing kick-ass baseball. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are playing kick-ass baseball, and they get better and better as time goes along.
That's right.
And they're stronger. The pitches are stronger than they were before. I remember when 90 miles per hour pitch was a fast pitch.
That's right.
And these kids today, they're doing 99 and 100 miles per
That's
hour
right.
on the mound. They
And
weren't
those
doing
five
that.
and those 5 miles per hour difference between 95 and 100 is a huge difference.
Yeah,
Let's not be fooled. It's a huge difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of his name. Uh, Bob Gibson, played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, he was known for throwing 90 miles per hour. Back in those days, he was considered the hardest throwing pitcher in baseball, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And if you reach 90 miles per hour, that was pretty hard.
That was
But
pretty hard. Yeah.
today, they go beyond that. They're more than 90 miles per hour now. These guys, the catchers, they have to change their catchers mitts frequently because these guys throw so hard.
Yeah.
But it's just too bad that even as good as these guys are and as healthy as they are, the sport itself is not on the upsurge like it was. You
Exactly.
know, So, but they got to get back to a certain things. And if you notice, the games are even shorter now.
That's right. Much shorter. Yep.
Yeah, they're shorter now. I mean, you can get this. You can get to the. I mean, baseball used to go over to like maybe 4 hours, something 3 hours, depending on how long players are out in the field. But the average was like I think like 3 hours. I mean, they cut them down like 2.5 hours now.
Because they have a pitch clock now where you have to
Yeah,
pitch the ball within 15 to 20
I think it's
seconds.
15 seconds. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Uh, and if you miss it, some of the pitches they watch the clock and they do it at the last minute. You ever notice that?
Yeah, because behind plate they have like a score ticker that
Yeah,
count down how many seconds you have to throw the ball.
yeah. They see
So
they
that's what
see
it's doing.
they see it, but what I'm saying is that the pitchers they wait to the last minute before they throw the pitch. They wait until maybe about 2 seconds before it expires, and then they start to throw. I don't know why that is, but that's what they do. Most of them, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't do our weather, and which is what I'm going to do right now. For those of you who are getting in conversation with us, I didn't want to horn in on your sports. That's why I put you on time because I didn't want to. That's why I hold out on the weather, which I can do. Which I can do. But I'm going to give you the weather right now. Uh, in New York. Now, those of you who live in New York, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of that. Those of you who are living elsewhere, give us your weather forecast and let's compare notes. All right, that would be great. But we have a it's gonna be a wet weekend here in New York. Uh, I'm not happy about it, but we had a couple of string of weekends for the past couple of weekends before, so and that was doing pretty good. But it's going to be a little. So I suggest that you get your umbrellas out. Get your umbrellas out and take them with you wherever you go. It's 55 degrees outside right now. That's what we have right now. The weather is cooler than it has been. So you might want to take your jackets along. You can't change with the weather just like that. You have to make sure that you dress properly. You don't want to overdress or underdress. So here's how it goes for this weekend. It's sunshine and clouds mixed today. We'll have a high 66. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, it's going to be cloudy. We'll have a low 48. Winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And Saturday, well, this is where it all starts. This is when the stuff hits the fan. Periods of rain. We'll have a high around 50 degrees. Winds will be east, southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 100%. That's a guarantee, right? And rainfall will be a half an inch. For Saturday night, rain likely. We'll have a low 44. Winds will be east, northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, another 100%. And rainfall near an inch. So it sounds like a little heavy rainfall there. And for Sunday, rain early, then remaining cloudy during the day, and with showers in the afternoon. We'll have a high 53. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain drops down to 70%, and rainfall around a quarter of an inch. So that's our weekend. That's what we're going to contend with on the weekend. So if you have any outdoor activities, don't cancel them because Mother Nature has a way of throwing the curveball. It might turn out better than what we're saying right now. It happens. Don't change your plans just yet. Give it a little time. But as it goes right now, I don't think outdoor activities are in order right now. It's 55 degrees. That's what we have right now. And that's what's going on in our weather. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. Well, we might as well get a little entertainment action going here. Actor Patrick Muldoon has died. The Days of Our Lives actor who played on Days of Our Lives and Starship Troopers. The actor died following a heart attack early on Sunday. Friends of the actor described him as endlessly generous and in his poetry and humor and unmistakably presence. and adding that Mondu loved animals and people alike, gave unforgettable hugs, and possessed a rare quality of making others feel safe and seen. Muldoon was 57 years old. Allan Osmond, the oldest brother of the Osmonds and the brother of Donnie and Marie, he died. Allan, who was born in Ogden, Utah, died at 8:30 p.m. local time on Monday. Allan's wife, Suzanne Pine Girl Osmond, and their 8 sons were around him when he died. And the singer had retired from performing after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 40 years ago. He was 76 years old. Mindy Cohen is battling cancer again. The Facts of Life actress opened up about her disease returning nearly a decade after she revealed a year-long battle with breast cancer in a post that was shared on Instagram on Sunday. Cohen lavished praise on Dr. Anton Bilchik, the division chair of the general surgery of Santa Monica Hospital. And Cohen noted that she'll be recuperating for another couple of weeks, and then she'll get return for her next adventure, which will be called Onwards. I think that's a movie that she's doing, Onwards. Just 2 days before the start of their homecoming, India tour legendary hard rock group, that's the hard rock band Scorpions, announced that they are canceling all their dates. That's because of the unseen medical circumstances affecting the band members. And this was supposed to be their first time in India in almost 20 years. The group did not start who was unwell. They did not state who was unwell, but several shows were canceled in 2025 when vocalist Mean had a respiratory infection and was unable to sing. And many fans assumed it was related to The Last Effect. And 1 year prior, the Rockers postponed some concerts as drummer D battled sepsis, which is, I think it's a disease or so. And here's something news, and we talked about this last night. Singer Nancy Sinatra called Donald Trump's reference to her father, Frank Sinatra's song My Way, a sacrilege on Saturday. Trump posted a video to Truth Social of Frank Sinatra singing his classic song in light of his renewal threats to destroy Iran infrastructure for the country allegedly violating the ceasefire agreement. And the song begins with, "And now the end is near, and now I face the final curtain." We all know that lyric. And that referred to as the certain which resembles Trump's past threats to destroy the nation. And I wanted to get to that part, but I'm going to talk about that later. I want to get back to that later, all right, about that Nancy Sinatra thing. I want to get back to that later. But right now, birthdays today, Kelly Clarkson is 44, singer Barbara Streisand is 84, jazz artist, the late Joe Henderson would have been 89, actress Jill Ireland would have been 90. Actress Shirley MacLaine is still alive and well. She's 92 today. And R&B singer and a good friend of mine, Freddie Scott, would have been 93 years old today. Now, if you have a birthday coming up, we want to say happy birthday to them, first of all, living and no longer with us. We want to say happy birthday to them. And if you have a birthday coming up, please let us know. We would love for you to get involved with us. And we want to talk about your birthday. Brian, do you have to leave just yet? Oh, I guess he left. He's coming back. Okay. He did say he was going to leave, but he's coming back. Okay. In the meantime, we want all of you who are having birthdays or anything like that to let us know. All right. And you can do that. You can do that by contacting us, right? I have an email address and a telephone number. An email address and a telephone number. The telephone number, the email address is frankallenprod at AOL.com. Now, Allan is spelled, he's back. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is PROD. That's short for productions. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And please use that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We would love to hear from you. Even if you don't have a birthday, you can contact us. And for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be a birthday. It could be an event that you're having. It could be just because you want to contact us. It doesn't matter. And keep all of that information with you at all times. Keep it right there in your electronic devices, which is, of course, your computer, be it laptop, desktop, or your tablet or your phone. And just in case one doesn't make it for you, you always have something to fall back on. So let me give you that address again, Frank Allan Prod. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467 134. You took a little powder right there. I don't know if you were with me when I read that information. That Nancy Sinatra. Did you hear me when I read that?
No, I just heard about Donny Osmond's brother had passed away and some other things that I connect.
Okay, I'm going to read this Nancy Sinatra thing again. It's over here. It's a singer Nancy Sinatra called Donald Trump's reference to her father's song "My Way," a sacrilege on Saturday. Trump posted a video on Truth Social, Frank Sinatra singing the classic song in light of his renewal threats to destroy Iran infrastructure for the country allegedly violating the ceasefire agreement. The song begins with an open line, and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. And which resembles Trump past threats to destroy the nation.
Wow.
So he pissed off Nancy Sinatra. He pissed Nancy Sinatra off. First of all, the reason why he pissed off Nancy Sinatra, because he played that video without any permission. He wasn't authorized to do it, as he does with all of these musics that he plays on his campaign trails or whatever. And
because those are copyrights, and then you got to get permission for that.
Yeah. And Nancy Sinatra found out about it through a fan who wrote her on her page that Donald Trump played this video. And you see, this guy has to understand. He has to understand something. Like you say, you have to get special permissions. Now, as a radio disc jockey, this is the thing that I know. I don't know how much Nancy Sinatra or Tina Sinatra knows about this. I imagine that they do because they're in business. Mm-hmm. But there's an organization called ASCAP that stands for American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. And there's another one called BMI, which stands for Broadcast Music Incorporation. Mm. Now,
so go ahead, finish.
Go ahead. No, go. Get ready. Go ahead.
I want to know. Well, if he did not get the authorization of it, then he's liable for a lawsuit. Absolutely.
And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I want to explain what ASCAP and BMI does, because I know these. I'm familiar. Being a radio disc jockey, I am totally familiar with these organizations. They protect the copywritten music, poetry, or whatever people do. Protect them. They protect them so they can get their royalties. And so what you have to do, like radio stations, subscribe to these organizations. Radio stations are licensed by, you have to be licensed to play music. You just can't play music on the air. If you're a radio station and you're not licensed to play music, you can't play it. So radio stations, like some of the stations that I've been on in there, were licensed stations. And so whenever I played music, I didn't have to worry about it because the stations that I played music on were licensed with ASCAP and BMI. And there are a few more others. Now, if and I recommend that stations are licensed by all of them. This way they can cover their asses, you know.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump is not licensed by these people. He wasn't licensed unless, of course, he got special permission from Nancy Sinatra or Tina Sinatra to play that music, which he didn't.
Well, Donald Trump is in, right now he's in, I don't know if there's anything psychologically wrong with him, but there's something.
It's safe to say. It's safe to say.
Yeah. Because here it is. Early this morning, I was in the gym, 6 a.m., and I was looking at Morning Joe. And there was a thing where a soldier was taken in custody for giving out details, information to place a bet of when and where the leader of the Venezuelan leader was going to be, whether that he was going to be taken in or not. And his response was just simple. Did he bet against or did he bet for us doing this? Because if he bet for the U.S., then he's like Pete Rose. That's why Pete Rose is not going into the Hall of Fame. My point is this: why is he using Pete Rose and making light of this? And there was a traitor. You could call him a traitor. He's been a traitor who bet against and won $401,000 on this bet. It was a bet that he made, and traded information from our country to wherever, and they're trying to track it down. So the soldier is being taken away. He's being indicted. He's going to be arrested, if not arrested already. And this is all what he said about Pete Rose, comparing Pete Rose to something like this. This is some serious stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick the pen into what I have to say about what you said earlier about getting permission, but I want to get these movies out of the way before I do. Let's get started right now. Here's a movie back in 1944 called It Happened in Brooklyn with, here we go, Frank Sinatra, Peter Lawford, and Jimmy Durante. That's on Turner Classic Movie. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. The Wrong Man with Henry Fonda from 1957, Vera Miles and Anthony Quayle. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 a.m. Eastern. Blackboard Jungle from 1955, Glenn Ford, Anne Francis, and Lewis Calhern. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And Sunday in New York, 1963, Rod Taylor, Jane Fonda, and Cliff Robinson. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying from 1967, Robert Morse, Michelle Lee, and Rudy Valley. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Those are the movies I have for you. And I hope you get a chance to check them out. Now, you said something about Brian, about getting permission. And he doesn't get permission. And I already told you how he can get permission. You can get license. Did you know that Spike Lee also did something that Tina Sinatra didn't like? Remember that movie that he did, his movie, what was the name of that movie when he wore the Dodgers uniform?
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. Remember the scene in the pizza store when he had Frank Sinatra's picture on there?
Right.
There was a lot of Italian American pictures, and I got just a little bit of time. A lot of Italian American pictures, and Frank Sinatra's picture was also there that was shown. Tina Sinatra called Spike Lee and said, my father's really pissed off at you. because you didn't ask permission to use his likeness on the on the show. So now because he wanted to do another movie, but he wanted to use Frank Sinatra's song, so he had to call Tina Sinatra on it. I don't know if that ever materialized or not, but yeah. So it's serious stuff. Serious stuff. Serious
Very
stuff.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, thanks for being along with us. We got to go, but we'll be back on Thursday. Brian will be with me also with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Also, my co-host on Talk Back Live. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then you can meet us back here once again on next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great weekend and a great day. We'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.